Hello, welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on day number 7 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life Series 13. This sketch is designed by Cheryl Ashcraft. I will have her social media links below if they're available, so that you can leave her some love on her Instagram and or YouTube channel. I am also going to be working on Stamp It Like It's Hot and the PaperCrafting YouTubers monthly themed hop, which is called Spooktacular. So I pulled some photos of my kids from 2015, and I have 3, and I'm going to train those down a little bit. And then I pulled, it's kind of an odd mix of paper. I thought I would start with this moon here, and then I pulled this for stamping on. Actually, the stamps that I thought I would probably use are going to be these stars here. I don't really have but one set of Halloween stamps, and they were really for card making and wouldn't go with this, so it's not going to work out. I also pulled this piece of Simple Stories pattern paper with stars on it, and then I have a whole bunch of scraps. A lot of this is from My Mind's Eye, their Happy Haunting collection. It's very old. Let me see if I can see a date on this. 2013 for that piece. This is from their collection, The Spider's Web, and it is from 2009. And a set of Echo Park chipboard pieces. So we'll see what I come up with here with this great sketch and a couple of themes going on. I will pause this video. When I come back, I will have you sped up so that you don't have to watch me do everything painstakingly slow. I will be right back. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out this moon from this pattern paper. I'm going to leave a black outline around the moon, and no, it will not be perfect because I never fussy cut anything perfect, especially not something that is this large. But I am going to go ahead and get this cut out. This paper is reversible, so when you see me flip it over to glue it later in the video, you'll see the other side is a lighter color. This was a really cool piece of paper, and I kind of wish I had two, but I don't. I'm not a member over at Studio Calico anymore, so hopefully they have it over there. I don't know if they do or not. It's old, 2015. Next up, I'm just going to do the stamping, and I'm also going to heat emboss these stars. Now, the first white embossing powder I used was too chunky. I am going to use the stars anyway, but it was a little too chunky for my liking, so I switched to a finer embossing powder, and then I just heat embossed all of them. All right, now I'm ready to go ahead and get this layout going. I am trimming off branding strips now of the main paper. Actually, I'm going to trim off 1/2 inch from each side of this because I have decided to mat this photo with one of the pattern papers that I used to create my stars. Now, this is going to be kind of tricky because I had to cut one of the edges a little smaller than I did the other 3 because of where my stars were stamped on it, and that's what I get for not thinking of doing this ahead of time. But it's okay because I'll go ahead and I'll get it glued on here with this wet glue first, and then I will flip it over and I will put washi tape on the seams just to give it a little bit more structure back there. And of course, right off the top, I have a little bit of trouble with it sliding out of the way. I hate when that happens, but I'm going to flip it over now. And I didn't even notice how cute this B-side to this pattern paper was. It is pretty cute. I only have one sheet though. I don't typically buy a whole lot of Halloween papers because Halloween's not my favorite holiday, and we don't have a whole lot of pictures of the kiddos in costume. I think I have more of them in costume now than I did when they were little for some reason. So with this glittered paper from My Mind's Eye, you see that I just put the ATG on there, but I'm also going to use wet glue because sometimes the ATG gun will not stick well to glittered paper, and I just would rather be safe than sorry. And here's where I mentioned that the other side of this pattern paper was a different color, but it still had a moon. It was almost a dilemma on which color to use, but I chose to use the black and white one because the other one was the wrong shade for the pattern papers that I have chosen. I'm going to trim off this edge before gluing it onto the other side so that I can stick true to this sketch, and I'm going to add some more washi because this bottom piece is really kind of flimsy and I want to get it stabled. I'm going to trim off that piece on the side real quick, and then we'll be ready to go. Alright, now I'm going to get the other side of the moon onto my background, and then I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut out my stars from this pattern paper. I'll fussy cut a few for you on camera, but then I'm just going to cut to the next scene because this video is getting kind of long and that was not my intention. Now, because these are Vicky Bouton stars, they're not, their points aren't all connected, and so it kind of makes them harder to cut out than a regular star would. But I just kept the corners, the corners, I just kept them pointed and didn't try to fussy cut around the little leg on the one with the text in it. And yes, these are stamps from one of her Christmas collections. They are not Halloween stamps. Luckily, with the embossing powder, you really can't read those words in the center of the star because they are Christmas words rather than Halloween. And honestly, even if you could read them, you'd have to get really close to the layout to do that. And I don't know many people who would nitpick that much. Anyway, I'm just trying to use what I have rather than going out and buying another set of stamps that I really won't use that often. So next up, I am going to go ahead and mat my photos. Well, first I'm going to go ahead and place them where I want them to go on this background. My photos are a different size and they're a different orientation. Hers were landscape, two of mine are portrait, and the other one is a square. So that makes it kind of hard to get everything on there, but in the same note, I'm leaving off the fourth photo down at the bottom and just putting an embellishment cluster there instead. These photos are not the greatest photos. They were taken with my husband's Android phone, and it was an older phone. And then when I had them printed out, I used this company called Groovebook, and their picture quality stinks. And I don't have a whole lot of their photos left, but some of the photos that I took with my iPhone or my husband took with his Android, I don't have the digital picture any longer, and so I'm relying on capturing memories with these terrible photos, but they are better than no photos at all. And so I'm going to go ahead and use them, although the quality is not great. Now, I have had another company print out the same photos before, so I know it's not the quality of the photo itself, it's just the quality of the processing was really terrible. Anyway, moving on. I'm looking on these, I think this is one of Simple Story's newest collections, Halloween collections, and I'm going to just pull a title off of it to put on here, and it's going to end up saying something like October 31st treats. I thought about using Spooktacular to go along with the PaperCrafting YouTubers theme Spooktacular nights, but I thought that would be cheesy, and so I just pulled off the word treats. These kids were quite thrilled to be walking around the neighborhood and trick-or-treating. Now, it's funny, they really, really wanted to trick-or-treat this year, or that year, and they begged and begged and begged, and so we had just moved, and, we were kind of still in dislocation. I don't even know if the house was fully unpacked yet, but I had I have a box of costumes that we keep in our storage area, and I dug through those for her and found my older daughter's old gypsy costume that she wore back in Germany. And then for Seth, he's just going to be Clark Kent, and so he wore some dress-up pants, a white shirt. I think he borrowed Dad's Superman t-shirt, and of course he already wears glasses, and so he made a cute little Clark Kent. I'm trying not to go overboard with the embellishments here. It would be really easy to do because I have some really cute embellishments in my Halloween themed drawer, and since I don't have a whole lot of photos to scrap with them, I could really layer up some embellishments, but I didn't. I behaved, didn't try to make my page too busy. I'm kind of happy with the way it looks here, but then I decided I wanted to put some journaling on labels, so I'm moving that lower left hand cluster around just a little bit so that I can put my journaling right there under that top left photo, and then I'm just going to kind of move the stars around a little bit to kind of go around those journaling labels. I am adding foam adhesive on the backs of some of them. I have like a scrap of brown fun foam with adhesive on the back that I'm using to pop up some of the embellishments and just kind of give the page a little bit of depth. And I'm going to go ahead and add another star up there, and it leaves me with 4 small embellishment clusters versus just 3, which is my norm. But I really thought that top star, it looked like it needed to be there, and so I went ahead and put it up there. And I've got those little bitty tiny chipboard circles that have one of them has a bat, one of them has a spider, and one of them has a skull. It's a really cute set of embellishments from Echo Park, and I don't have any of the paper that matches, so I'm going to go ahead and try to use them up with my other Halloween collections as I go. I think I have another set of Halloween photos to scrapbook, at least 1 more, if not 2 more. The kids decided really quickly that Halloween wasn't as much fun as they thought. I think it was too hot in Tennessee for them to enjoy trick-or-treating. The last time they really remember trick-or-treating, we had lived in Germany where it was nice and cool on October 31st. When we got to Georgia, it was just too stinking hot, and we did a whole lot of church functions versus actual going out and trick-or-treating. We'd go do the church parties and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and add some white splatters onto this layout, and that will give a little bit more texture to my page. Now, I normally would already have my journaling written down, but I decided to brave it and just get the splatters on here and then let them dry. All right, I am all finished with this layout. I did add another star here at the top. I ended up moving this from over here and putting the journaling over more towards that area, and then just kind of made a couple of embellishment clusters, making this one whole big cluster here. I have a cluster here and a cluster here, and a title. I want to thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and or subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, it will always be free to subscribe to my channel. So go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button and the bell if you want to be notified by YouTube when I put up new content. Make sure you check that playlist below for this month's 30 days of sketches. And let's give Miss Cheryl Ashcraft a lot of love on her channel. Her links will be down there below as well. You guys have a great rest of your day.